Home field in command at halftime, leading Cincinnati 21-3. Don Criqui with Beasley Reese here at Memorial Stadium. And we talked to Vinny Testaverde yesterday, Beasley, and asked him, do you think this team is a playoff contender, the Ravens? He said, absolutely we are. 3-5. We're only 2 games out, and now we really start to make our run. And I'll tell you, he says, look terrific.
Vinny is throwing the ball perfectly, but also the offensive line for the Ravens has been unbelievable. I mean, they have been blowing Cincinnati's defensive line, and it's a formidable defensive line. It's some big, tough guys on that line.
Last week, the Bengals seemed to be gone, but they came back with 21 fourth-quarter points, and they won the game over Jacksonville, but they'll have to put the ball in the Ravens' hands to start as we look at the Coors Light halftime stats.
Well, the big numbers are the first downs for Baltimore and the total yards. I mean, it's a dominating performance by the Ravens.
And the ball is taken back all the way out to the 43-yard line. And so the Ravens and Testaverde, who were unstoppable after the early part of the first quarter, come out in their best field position to start a drive yet. A 20-yard return on the play. And we'll see what the Bengals do on defense, because they've not pressured Testaverde. Beasley, do you start blitzing, or what do you do?
Well, I think it's very dangerous to blitz them, because one-on-one, Derek Alexander and Michael Jackson are playing so good. You blitz them too much and leave them single, solo, one-on-one, and it could really get bad out here.
They got 5 guys, 5 linemen down. You know that Coslin talked hard to his team at halftime. Testaverde a quick out, and the ball is incomplete at the 47-yard line. That time, Ashley Ambrose, who has 5 interceptions already this year, came up on the play. They haven't gone to his side much.
Well, they've thrown so many quick hitches to the wide receivers that when Vinny audibilized that time, Ashley Ambrose, you could tell that he knew exactly what was coming, broke very quickly on the ball.
Vinny again, a quick drop over the middle ball, and is it intercepted? It's ruled incomplete, almost an interception. The ball was tipped. And Tovar, who almost had a pick in the first half on a tip ball, as the ball hit the ground. So it brings up 3rd and 10.
Well, this was almost real good because of the technique that Ashley's using. That slant route, see, that's like the 3rd drop. Michael Jackson, as good as Michael Jackson is playing today, he's dropped at least 3 balls.
And now Testaverde against a 4-man rush, stands in, fires down the middle for a first down to Green. Here's a penalty marker coming in. A penalty marker is fired in. The Bengals say that somebody pushed off on the Ravens. We'll see if the play goes. It's 15 yards. But no, it is against Baltimore, and so the play comes back.
Pass interference, number 86 on the offense. The 10-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
There he is, number 86. Let's see where he pushes off. I didn't really see much of a push there. But like I was telling you about his hands earlier in the game, Don, his hands are unbelievable. He will catch everything.
He's big. When he went to the Dolphins,
he's huge.
Shula was asked about him. He says, what do you think about a tight end this big? He said, I like my tight ends to have their weight start with the 2. Here's a throw down the field, and 3rd and long, 3rd and 20, and it's incomplete. And so it's 3 and out for the Ravens here to open the 3rd quarter. And Jeff Blake and the Cincinnati offense will get the ball and the wind here in this 3rd quarter.
And that wind part is huge.
It's huge.
Because it's cold out there. Get the wind behind you, you can get something going quickly, and Blake has got some weapons.
Greg Myers back to return the punt, a 5th-round draft choice from Washington State, averaging 14+ yards a punt return. He's been pretty terrific. Coslin talked about needing a huge play for special teams. We haven't had one all year. Here's Myers. Best way to return him, right up the middle, and there could be a blocking foul on the Bengals as penalty markers are fired in. A 50-yard punt and a 6-yard return. And the signal is against Cincinnati. Gardner comes down and makes the tackle for the Ravens. So Jeff Blake and the Bengals will have the long field to go after the penalty yardage is marked off against them.
Illegal block in the back. Number 37 on the return team, on the run back. That's the 10-yard penalty. 1st down.
Leonard Wheeler called for the penalty. The NFL on NBC continues in a moment.
I blame my father's death on the thin rope. my grandfather's too. In a tightrope walking, wider rope is more stable. The crowds, though, they want thin. But I tell you, wider is better.
Introducing the new Wide Track Grand Prix. Its wheels are set wide for better balance, tighter grip.
I tell you from experience, più largo e meglio.
The new Wide Track Grand Prix from Pontiac. Wider is better.
No matter where we live, when it comes to something as important as healthcare, we all want the best. That's why Aetna and U.S. Healthcare have joined forces to create a partnership that will set a new standard of quality and care in the healthcare industry. Aetna and U.S. Healthcare, raising the quality of healthcare for your town, for your family, for you.
It can't be. I got to see. It is. The 365.
Boss, give a look. Ugye ez egy IBM ThinkPad 365-ös.
Az bizony.
It could be no other. Feel the track point. Feast your eyes on the screen. Can we swing it, boss, huh?
Meglepően olcsó.
Yeah. That's my boss. What a guy, huh?
The NFL on NBC is brought to you by Pontiac and your local Pontiac dealer. We are driving excitement. By IBM, solutions for a small planet. By Aetna U.S. Healthcare, raising the quality of healthcare in America. And by Pizza Hut. Now we've got your pizza.
We're back in Baltimore. Jeff Blake. You see his numbers for the day. The Bengals with only a field goal to show for their offense and trailing 21-3. Their opening possession of the third quarter. And they take it off with the run, and Garrison Hurst gets some yardage, powering his way out from the 12-yard line out close to the 19. Stopped by Tim Goad.
Boy, this is a big possession for Cincinnati. And, you know, I think it's smart to come out like that because you all get the sense that they're behind. They're going to come out slinging the ball around because it comes out with a run, gets a real nice gain of about 7 yards. And from 2nd and 3 down, you can call some plays.
Right behind Cousins there was Kenny Anderson, who's calling most of them, the offensive coordinator for the Bengals. Blake goes back to the run, and Garrison Hurst responds. The former All-American from Georgia weaves his way ahead for a gain of about 8 yards out to the 28-yard line. Stopped by Gerald Williams, an outside backer.
See, I think this is so smart to remain multidimensional. You know, when you're trailing, people expect you to come out and start throwing the ball, but they stay on the ground. Hurst with 12 carries for 33 yards so far in the game. But that keeps the defense wondering. You don't know for sure exactly what the offense is going to throw at you.
Roll 51 at the right portion of your screen. Looks like he's ready to blitz. He does. They pick him up. Here's a throw and a catch over the middle. As the ball is threaded in and out to the 43-yard line, a gain on the play of 15 yards and a first down.
Well, that's a sharp dart to Darnay Scott here. 3-step drop right in between two defenders. A dangerous throw, but nice completion.
This a huge possession for the Bengals if they're to get back in this game. This drive is critical, down 21-3.
Well, the big thing, they have to play mistake-free football.
Been one turnover each way in the game. Blake's turnover really just a desperation throw at the end of the half was picked off. There's Jeff Blake on the run. Inside and diving down to the 40-yard line on a first down play. He runs ahead for 17 yards and a first down.
See, I talked about it earlier. I like this. I mean, that's an added dimension. No one on the defense pays any attention to the quarterback. They're looking at the patterns. They're trying to figure out what the wide receivers are trying to do. So Blake breaks open for 17.
And the Bengals cross midfield and now have the ball at first down just inside the 40-yard line. See Blake, a very effective rusher. We could see him carry more beaches. Lone setback is Hurst, and he gets the ball, and Garrison Hurst with that quick burst takes it straight at the the Raven defense, and James Jones knocks him down after a gain of 4.
Hurst is playing with a sore ankle. He's still being very effective. Look at the offensive line. They're doing a pretty. They blocked all but one guy.
Different tactic here in the second half as the Bengals came out of the locker room going to the run more short passes, and they moved the ball downfield. On 2nd and 6, they go back to the run again, and Garrison Hurst with a lunge takes the ball near to the 30-yard line of Baltimore. He'll be just short of it, bringing up 3rd and 1. A tackle by Ray Lewis, the middle linebacker.
Well, it's amazing how teams with sharp coaching staffs go in at the half and they come up with something, and then you can see the difference immediately. Willie Anderson, the rookie, pulling out in front of Garrison Hurst. Another nice game. See, 3rd and 1, you can call plays. You can go for stuff.
This could get very high scoring. The Ravens have played in the 2 highest scoring games of this season. Their win over New England was the highest scoring game, 47-39, and then their loss at Denver, 45-34, was the 2nd highest scoring game.
Hi, got your pizza.
I didn't order a pizza.
You didn't order a pizzeria stuffed crust pizza?
Sure didn't.
It's baked fresh every day. Not too thick, not too thin. Just like pizzeria pizza. Mmm, tasty sauce and ring of cheese that's baked into the crust. It's just $8.99 for a large, but...
Oh, yeah, that's our. Thanks a lot.
Discover Pizzeria Stuffed Crust Pizza.
Hi, got your pizza?
What pizza?
10 minutes and we're out of here.
Hi, Ralph. It's that pipe again. Will it take long?
Nah, only...
Oh, DirecTV.
a couple hours.
Well, lock up when you leave.
Sure.
DirecTV. Over 175 channels, digital picture and sound. It's satellite TV at its best.
Wow, does this blow cable away?
Comfy?
For the choice of movies, cable, and sports packages you can't get anywhere else, it's got to be DirecTV.
This is the Pontiac Bonneville, one of the world's most powerful sports sedans. The luxury of the driver's command center surrounds you with 12-way adjustable seats, steering wheel stereo controls, and a powerful supercharged engine. Order this free video information kit and see for yourself why J.D. Power & Associates rank Bonneville most appealing premium midsize car. Just call 1-800-443-4444.
Really big series for Cincinnati. The offense doing a great job so far, but they've got to get this magical combination going. Jeff Blake to Carl Pickens, 29 touchdowns, the best combo since 1994. And now's the time. This is 2-down territory. Don, I'd get the first down, and then I'd try to let Pickens out-jump somebody. Well, 7-foot high jumper, as you brought out. I'd throw it up straight up in the air in the corner of the end zone and let him out-jump somebody.
Well, they've had plenty of time to set the play, so I think you're right. They're going to go to the power run. They work with double tight ends now on 3rd and less than a yard. Might go right up the middle. There's a gap there. Now they pitch left. Hurst takes it ahead, and Garrison Hurst working hard is inside the 25-yard line. Eric Turner brings him down. We talked to Hurst yesterday and asked him if he had any memories of Buddy Ryan, his coach at Arizona. So when Buddy was fired, he called players in individually to talk to him. Hurst said to himself, what could he want to talk to me about? Buddy said to him, I just wanted you to know all those things they printed in the paper that they said I said about you. I never said them. To which Garrison, right, coach.
Garrison said, yeah, right. They didn't have the best working relationship.
Sadowski goes in motion. End around. Look at Carl Pickens taking a look. This could be a disaster. Now he throws the ball to Tony McGee, and it's a productive play inside the 15-yard line, and good for a Cincinnati first down.
Oh, what a smart play. Now, not only did they have the nerve to run a little razzle-dazzle, they actually had an outlet. Now, McGee is right here. Now, they're going to, bring some guys deep. You're going to see the reverse. But then McGee is the clear out. He's the safety valve. Look at McGee faking like he's blocking. And then he'll end up in the flat as the safety valve. Pickens very smart not to throw it down deep. What a nice play.
It was indeed, and a first down, so the Bengals with a very impressive opening drive on their first possession of the second half. Here's a throw and a catch down to the 7-yard line as the ball is thrown to Eric Bieniemy, and the little guy at 5'7" picks it up just off the grass.
See, Bieniemy once again, he's not going to make a mistake. He's going to give you 100% effort every time he touches the ball. I love this guy. I mean, he just doesn't get to play enough. It's been the case everywhere he's played. That's the way it was in San Diego, and then here, you know, he comes in as a change of pace guy. Every play he does his job.
Got a chance to play at Colorado. He set 8 University of Colorado rushing records. 2nd and 4, back to the run. Bieniemy, man, almost in. He's down to the 1-yard line. He has a first down and does well to protect the ball because Eric Turner put a shot on him.
Well, Eric Turner is the only, well, there's a couple of others, Atwater at Denver, but he's one of the few safeties that could stop this guy. He's running full speed, and Turner really levels him. I mean, just gets square and pops him.
It's a game for hard men.
Yes, it's a game for tough guys.
61 is an eligible receiver on this play. This is the 11th play of the drive. Pitch back. Kajana Carter goes in standing up. So Kajana Carter's first run of the day is good for 6. He had 2 touchdowns last week. Another one today, and Kajana now has 4 for the season, although he's yet to rush for a total of 200 yards this year.
It's like he's the designated touchdown guy. Last week they ran the same play. He ran a touchdown. They ran an inside play. He ran a touchdown.
1 carry, 1 yard, 1 touchdown.
That's batting 1,000.
That's it. Now the point after by Doug Pelfrey with Lee Johnson as holder. He drives it through, and with 7 minutes and 55 seconds to play in the 3rd quarter, the Ravens lead is now to 21-10.
Their goals are as basic as a first home, an education, a secure retirement. Yet they own over half of all the stock in America. They are individual investors, and for them nothing is more valuable than information. Today, NASDAQ is delivering news about companies, performance tracking, even timely stock quotes, instantly. So if you're an investor who seeks vital information, you now know where to find it.
When it's time for routine service, the name you know best is all you need to know. It's the name that stands for GM trained technicians, the right tools and equipment, and genuine GM parts. It's the name for people who know your GM vehicle better than the rest. GM Good Wrench Service, the best name in the business.
This is the Pontiac Bonneville, one of the world's most powerful sports sedans. The luxury of the driver's command center surrounds you with 12-way adjustable seats, steering wheel stereo controls, and a powerful supercharged engine. Order this free video information kit and see for yourself why J.D. Power and Associates rank Bonneville most appealing premium midsize car. Just call 1-800-443-4444.
This is the NFL on NBC.
Back to Baltimore, Maryland, where in 11 plays and 88 yards, Kajana Carter was on the payoff end from a yard out. It's a 21-10 game. The Ravens with the lead, and they get the ball now as the ball is hit down to the rookie, Jermaine Lewis. He's a flyer, and he dives with it after the hit out to the 25-yard line. Here's the score.
Take a look at the 2 young linemen that Cincinnati's got out here. That's Willie Anderson. He comes up and stops Lewis, forcing Sutter to try to catch the play from the backside. Now watch Lewis, 52, sealed off by Anderson. Then Sutter coming all the way from the backside. There's no way he can outrun Kajana Carter. And then we got a new dance. You know, Garrison Hurst and Kajana Carter, they're competing for playing time, but they are very close friends. You saw that Hurst was the first one over to do the new dance.
Yeah.
Yet to be named. The new dance with Kajana.
The king of all dancers, though, for the Bengals is Ickey Woods.
Oh, he was the king.
But
No,
where is he?
no,
Where is that dance, and where is Ickey these days?
I don't know where Ickey is.
Here's a long ball, and Michael Jackson is there. What a play by the Ravens. Has a penalty marker down. We'll see what the call is.
Well, Corey Sawyer is called for pass interference, I believe.
I don't know.
Are they pointing somewhere else?
They're running back. Bengals are hoping it's going the other way. If the play goes, it's a 39-yarder.
Well, Corey knew he was beaten on the play. He was very smart to grab him.
Also a marker down in the backfield. Offsetting. Hey, this Michael Jackson, you talked about him, Beasley, being a threat.
Hands to the face. Illegal contact. 23 on the defense. The penalty's offset. First down.
Bengals are the big beneficiaries there of offsetting penalties. Vinny Testaverde in his 10th year, 32 years old, out of the University of Miami, the former Heisman winner. Biggest fan is his dad, Al, who can't come to the games or can't even watch them on television because of his heart condition. As Vinny stands in, fires over the middle, and the ball is dropped by Floyd Turner, who's made a couple of nice grabs earlier. Talking about Vinny's dad, Al, who is a stonemason in Long Island. He used to have Vinny work with him 16 hours a day in the hot sun.
That'll make you tough. You know, we've had a lot of drops today. I mean, you got to catch that ball. Everybody's made catches, and everybody's dropped the ball for the Ravens.
Now a throw and an overshoot, and Vinny stretched out his receiver, Big Eric Green. Now it looks like Vinny's getting a little frustrated here, Beasley.
Well, you know, when they start dropping them, you say to yourself, I'm putting the ball on the money. Yeah, he's got to, you know.
He reins it in, though.
Once again, he's got to catch them.
And this brings up 3rd down and 10. So an important play for the Ravens. They'll have to punt from deep in their own end if they don't convert. Here's the throw and the catch, and it's a first down for Baltimore. Lloyd Turner on his knees makes the grab at the 26-yard line. They needed 10. They got 13. Big throw by Testaverde, right on target.
And watch how Turner makes sure. I mean, he sits down, concentrates on this ball. He doesn't try to run it. He's a veteran. He knows where the first down marker is.
Testaverde now goes to Bam Morris, and he breaks free for the moment. Gets ahead to the 31-yard line, close to a 5-yard gain. Stopped on the play by Steve Tovar, the middle linebacker, was on the stop.
2nd and 5 to 31.
There's the defensive coordinator, Larry Pecatello. He's got to come up with something. This has been too much throw and catch, and the best defense has been Turner and Jackson dropping balls, although they've made some great catches.
On 2nd and 5, back to Bam Morris as he overpowers tacklers and takes it to the 36-yard line and very close to a first down.
It's so frustrating to watch NFL defensive linebackers and defensive backs tackle a man this big up high around the shoulders. It doesn't work. He's going to run right over you. He's going to look at this. You have to hit this guy around his ankles. You have to grab the kneecap. He's not going to come down with smaller people slamming into his shoulder pads.
Well, the Ravens learned a lot from the game tape of last week when the Cincinnati defense held Jacksonville's super passing game to 189 net yards. But they also noticed that the Cincinnati allowed 149 yards rushing. And the Ravens move on as they have a first down, and the clock shows 6:06 to play in the 3rd quarter. Bam Morris rushing numbers. He's been in the end zone once. A 21-10 Baltimore lead. Hand off, Bam Morris overpowering people. Markers are down.
Brought down by Corey Sawyer and Bo Orlando.
Marker is picked up. There's tape on the field.
No, you know, once again, this is the same deal. Bam Morris is trying to run a touchdown. You can't arm tackle him. You can't hit him up around his shoulders because he's going to keep running. You got to get him low. Big men, you got to hit him low.
He's going to get it again right here. 2nd down and 1. No, Vinny's going to air it out. Downfield throw to Michael Jackson, and he's picked off by Corey Sawyer. What a sensational interception, as it looked like a beautifully executed pass play. And Corey Sawyer, the fleet cornerback from Florida State, Goes up like a receiver and takes it away from the big guy.
It's another underthrow, Don. He's got him beat. He's got to throw it high and long.
The Value Drive is on during Oldsmobile's Value Drive sales event. Make the smart choice with Cutlass Supreme. All the roominess, performance, and features you need. Plus, for a limited time, Oldsmobile is clearing out all remaining 96s. And with special factory-to-retailer incentives on new 97 models, you have an even greater opportunity to save. Cutlass Supreme by Oldsmobile. The time to buy is now. The Value Drive is on. See your Oldsmobile retailer today.
Somewhere between silver and white is a color called chrome. One of the colors between the colors created by Canon Laser Color. Canon Laser Color, its only competition is reality.
Sears is filled to capacity with tires for whatever you drive. And right now, all Goodyear tires are on sale at the lowest prices of the season. Only at our garage, the Sears Auto Center.
So I pull into this gas station.
Oh, classic over squeeze. Watch this. Release the hounds. Perfect pump. 2037.
Even at the gas station, you can do more with the American Express card.
Today, questionable hits caught the eye of some NFL coaches.
The end of the play, when it looks like you're going to stay up, and then all of a sudden you go for the knees, you can, ruin somebody's career.
What I saw is not illegal. I understand Mike Shanahan and getting mad at it, but Marty Schottenheimer, I don't think, would coach anything unethical.
The NFL on NBC next Sunday.
Michael Jackson in full stride down the sideline. He's got a step, but the ball is underthrown. Corey does a great job of getting his head around. You see how Michael Jackson was reaching behind him. He had his defender beaten. It was an underthrow.
Now back to live action. The Bengals, who scored on their last possession, go to the run, and Garrison Hurst cuts back. One of the reasons is that great cutback move on the burst ahead that made him the #3 player picked in the entire draft when he came out of Georgia. The top 2 picks that year were Drew Bledsoe and Rick Meyer, the quarterbacks.
That's a pretty good 1, 2, 3. You know, when Garrison Hurst saw the opening, it was like sharks in blood. I mean, he hit a whole nother gear. That's what the good ones can do. They are under control, they see a hole, and they absolutely accelerate.
And he's up to 60 yards rushing now for the day. As we mentioned, the Bengals have not had a 100-yard rusher in 57 games.
Ouch.
Almost 4 seasons.
That hurts.
There's Bieniemy. He's been a big contributor.
Every time he gets the ball, I'm telling you, he's got to be frustrated. Every time he touches it, he gives 100%, and he's usually very productive.
He's used a lot to chip block also. He's been hitting some of those pass rushers when he's on passing downs. Up in the blocking. It is a first down. Blake against the blitz, throws, and his man comes down with the ball at the 44-yard line. Carl Pickens comes up with an acrobatic catch. Nobody does it better than Pickens going up.
There's something wrong with the grip or something. Every throw from Blake is high today.
1st and 10. He talked to us yesterday how he's very proud he doesn't string his receivers out, doesn't hang them out to dry in the teeth of the defense, but that was close. They're going to target Anderson all day. Here's a throw down the middle, and the ball is taken and running with a penalty marker down to the 48-yard line. But there's a marker down in the backfield of the Ravens. James Jones finally makes the stop. Garrison
illegal.
Hurst.
Looks like it's illegal contact by one of the defenders of the Ravens.
This game has turned. It is still a big lead for the Ravens. They lead 21-10, but this is a team that gave up 400.
Contact. Number 25 on the defense. That's a 5-yard penalty. First down.
Boy, sometimes they don't call that because it was on the other side of the field from where the ball was thrown.
Baltimore's been very good at not being penalized. Last week, the Ravens defense giving up 463 yards to the Rams. So the Bengals know there are yards to be had. Yesterday, Jeff Blake talking to Beasley about the importance of patience, and his coach talked about it. We don't want you to try to do it all at once. Take it piece by piece. What's out there, take it in steps. Marker's down, throwing a catch to Pickens, but there was movement before the snap of the ball, it appears, as the play is whistled dead. Might be emotion.
Ball start. Number 63 on the offense, moving prior to the snap.
Joe Walter, the right
5-yard
tackle.
penalty, still first down.
See, that one hurts. He's right in this area, right there. There he is. And there we go. Got a little hunch by the veteran Walter. Just a very little.
First and 15. Just a little flinch is enough to do it.
Oh, they should let that go.
It's been a remarkably penalty-free game for the most part.
He didn't mean it.
John Carter's now in wide right as a receiver. They go to the run, and here's Bieniemy turning it up and over the 50, and he's not done till he gets down to the 45-yard line, where he's knocked out of bounds after a gain of 6 yards.
See? Every time. You know, he's probably saying, Beasley, shut up. I like, you know, I'm a little guy. I'm 5'7". I like coming off the bench, you know, being a change of pace. I can play a long time this way. But it's just a pleasure to watch somebody give it everything they've got every time they're called upon.
Very important divisional game, as the coaches like to say. These count two AFC Central rivals. Second down and 4. Back to the run. Back to Garrison Hurst, who's down to the 41-yard line and appears to have just enough for another Cincinnati first down. San Diego continues to beat the Colts at Indianapolis.
They're falling apart.
Yeah, they're in disarray. There's a surprise. The Eagles. No, really?
Nope,
really?
not to me. I knew Philadelphia would give Dallas a heck of a game. Now, that game's not over. You know Dallas can come back.
Of course, Dallas beat the Eagles at Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Started their comeback. Green Bay up on Detroit. Pittsburgh laying waste to St. Louis. Most teams do. It is second down and 10. Play fake. Blake steps in, fires over the middle, and Tony McGee, the tight end, comes down with the ball. Now they rule incomplete. They're ruling incomplete. Ray Lewis grabbed it off the ground also. And it's an incomplete pass, but an exciting one.
That's an amazing read by a rookie. Ray Lewis is having a phenomenal season. To make that read, I mean, it's against the cover 2, so the quarterback's going to try to find his spot down the middle. Look at Lewis in really good position and literally mugged the McGee for the football. You can't get better position in pass coverage than that. Chest to chest running down the field.
Now let's see what Blake and the Bengals go to on second down and 10. Ravens bring their linebackers up. Blake steps up, takes a look, and throws the ball away, and there's a marker in. A penalty marker in the Ravens secondary, and Eric Turner has his helmet off, and he's not happy with the official.
Well, all of a sudden, the Ravens are getting real sloppy on defense. Grabbing, holding.
So it's an automatic first down on the defensive hold.
Ouch.
Holding. Number 25 on the defense. That's a 5-yard penalty. First down.
Well, let's see if we got a hold here. Here's a great look at it. Yeah, that's a hold. That's a hold. So,
that qualifies.
That's a hold. I don't know who's mad about that call.
First and 10 at the 35-yard line of Baltimore. Blake, quick out. Pickens. He's not done. Harold Pickens is inside the 10-yard line. What a well-executed play that was. Then Pickens got the last 20 yards on his own, busting a tackle, a 26-yard gain.
I want you to watch the move, Don. This is pick up your jock strap. Little hesitation, 2 guys on the ground. Just right on the edge of the sideline and flying.
T.O.B.
Man.
T.O.B. Thing of beauty. And all of a sudden, the Bengals, I'd like to know what went on in their locker room at halftime.
Well, it must have been a heck of a speech. I want a copy of it.
Pickens 5 catches for 59 yards. And the carry is down close to the 3-yard line on a 1st and goal play. Garrison Hurst, who's run well all day, does so again. Knocked down on the play by Elliott Fortune.
Eric Turner once again coming in with an amazing shot at the end of that play.
And a Bengal player is down. So while he's attended to, there's a break in the action. The NFL on NBC continues.
Teammates sponsored by the U.S. Army. Be part of our team in the Army. One reason for the recent Raider resurgence is their triple threat running attack. Besides Harvey Williams, it features a pair of youngsters, Napoleon Kaufman and Joe Aska, each of whom have produced a 100-yard-plus rushing game.
Breaking tackles. There he goes. Goodbye. 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Take it in, Joe. Way to work out there. Good job,
This is for my grandfather, who always said I'd make the family proud. For my mom, who never let me out the door without my homework. For my dad, who worked the night shift to make our lives better.
Flight 3 Alpha. Spotted.
For myself. For my future.
Tick, 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 tick. You look at cars all day long, tick, and then you see one. Tick. With exceptional styling, tick, tick, tick. Impressive V8 engine, and a really approachable interior. Tick, tick, tick. And you just can't help but think, tick. Tick, 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 tick.
At the EMC Golf Skills Challenge, Arnie's Army had something to cheer about.
How about Arnold Palmer?
8 golfing greats put their skills to the test when they shoot it out at the EMC Golf Skills Challenge next weekend on NBC.
You know, Don, it looks like Scott Brumfield, number 72, and I think I saw where the injury occurred. His own man, the tight end, here's the tight end, McGee. He's going to come down, he's blocking, and they go helmet to helmet about here. Keep your eye on McGee as he comes down the line blocking, and then right there, the helmet goes in the side of Brumfield's head, and that's I believe that's a weak spot in the equipment.
Looked like at one point they were checking his right leg. But anyway, Scott Brumfield, unfortunately, is still down. The clock has stopped with 1 minute and 7 seconds left to play in the 3rd quarter. The Bengals trailing but challenging now, and play resumes. It'll be a 2nd and goal from inside the Ravens' 4-yard line.
Very, very dangerous game at the professional level, because all of these guys
we saw
huge.
last week when 2 Jacksonville players in Cincinnati were both hurt on the same onside kick attempt, and they were down on the field for 20 minutes before they were taken off.
The players are just so big at this level that the slightest little thing.
Extreme caution is the absolute mandate in a situation like this, and you got the best medical personnel available.
Yeah, and you really shouldn't read anything into this, because you don't know. They are so cautious that, you know, we don't know if it's a really serious injury or if they're just being very, very careful. So I guess I'm saying that for his relatives back in Cincinnati, you don't want to read anything into it. Hopefully he's okay. They err on the side of caution. They'll tell the player, don't move. You know, the guy will say, I'm going to try to get up. They'll say, no, 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 don't move.
So here in the 3rd quarter, Bruce Coslett's Bengals have been a decidedly different team, as after stopping the Ravens, they took over the ball and went down the field, the long field, and scored on a Kejana Carter 1-yard run. And now, after the interception by Corey Sawyer when the Ravens were driving, the 2nd interception of Vinny Testaverde today, the Bengals are right back down close, and a touchdown here gets them right back in the game, down 21-10. Coming up next on most of these NBC stations, it's game 2 of our NFL doubleheader. Most of you will see the battle between Drew Bledsoe and the Patriots and Dan Marino and the Dolphins. They'll play at Foxborough, the rematch of an opening day shootout that the Miami Dolphins won in Jimmy Johnson's debut. Others will see the Seattle Seahawks go against the Houston Oilers, or the Kansas City Chiefs playing the Vikings at Minneapolis. Check your local listings for the game in your area. Play is stopped here at Baltimore, as right now being attended to on the field is offensive lineman Scott Brumfield of the Cincinnati Bengals.
You know, let's take another look at the injury. Here's the tight end, McGee. He's blocking, and he'll funnel his body down into this area, and the collision with Brumfield, you can clearly tell it's kind of helmet to helmet. See McGee sliding down, and his momentum is thrown forward by the defender, and they go head to head, McGee and Brumfield.
Scott Brumfield, a huge offensive lineman, 6'8", 320 pounds. He's in his 4th year from Brigham Young. Right now he's being attended to by medical personnel from both teams. And your observation, Beasley, and you've certainly been in the thick of it enough in this league as a player, was that a hard shot to the head might have knocked him out.
See, that may be it, and we certainly hope that it's something as simple as a you know, concussion type of a head-to-head shot. But as I said earlier, they make sure they err on the side of caution. A player can be trying to get up, he can be talking, they will say, you know, they'll look at his eyes and they'll say, no, you lay here, we're going to be careful. So hopefully they are being very careful, and we'll get some good news on Scott for you pretty soon.
Ken Blackman, a rookie, will now come in to replace Brumfield, as the Bengals offensive blocking has improved measurably here in the 3rd quarter, as they've run the ball so well, particularly in this drive with Garrison Hurst moving the ball downfield, and then the great play by Carl Pickens, the quick out that he turned into a 26-yard gain. 1 minute and 7 seconds left to go in the 3rd quarter. At the half, the Baltimore Ravens were leading 21-3, as Vinny Testaverde in the pass offense of the Ravens was masterful. He had over 200 yards passing in the first half. And then in the 3rd quarter, the game has turned around. Now it's come to a halt, as offensive lineman Scott Brumfield of the Bengals is being attended to after being injured on a play that advanced the ball down to the 3-yard line of Baltimore. Coach Teddy Marchibroda and his Ravens, feeling with a win today, they're right back in the playoff race. They'd go to 4-5 on the season. They've had trouble winning 2 in a row. Haven't done it yet this year.
And what's been so strange about the Ravens is, and really both of these teams, talking about Cincinnati first, to be plus 12. I mean, to do some things right, to be plus 12, take away, give away, and to have two wins to show for it breaks every rule in football. And then for the Ravens to be one of the best offenses in the game, you get a bunch of injuries on your defense, and then suddenly you find yourself switching from a 4-3 to a 3-4, and there's a learning curve, although they seem to have proved playing much better defense today.
Here's the upcoming schedule for the Cincinnati Bengals. They go home next week for their big rivals from Steeltown, the Pittsburgh Steelers, in the process of routing the St. Louis Rams today, as Pittsburgh looking to up its lead. Then the Bengals go to Buffalo, a team that's very hard to get a handle on, hard to make a projection about. Everybody wonders about Jim Kelly, and as he hit the wall as a professional player, well, his big problem is he's immobile. That's why he gets sacked. He can't get out of the way of a rush. He's still got a lot of ability, but he can't move like he could. Some of the scores coming in. Here's one. The San Diego Chargers are now leading the Indianapolis Colts by a 19-12 score, as Gary Blanchard has kicked a pair of field goals and inched the Colts back into it. Now Scott Brumfield of the Cincinnati Bengals being put on the stretcher and help from the field. So you look at the 10-minute ticker. Both those teams have been struggling. Philadelphia's lead now down to 3 over the Dallas Cowboys. Over 8, 21-13. Green Bay seemingly having no problems with the Lions at Green Bay.
Wayne Fonts will win the last 7.
Pittsburgh, I mean, that could be the game ball at St. Louis. That Brooks is on thin ice, the coach there.
Yeah, he really
won his
is.
first 4 last season, and they've been a disaster since.
Yeah, they might have to go back to tour school to keep their NFL card.
They're struggling, and Atlanta may be on the way to its first win with a lead over Carolina. Giants.
Oh, look at my Giants.
Getting better.
Getting a few wins.
Ken Cran, the Arizona quarterback, talked about how he wasn't treated right by Dan Reeves, and he planned to make his statement on the field today. So far, they have no points, the Cardinals, so.
He's not talking too loud.
It's not too loud.
He's whispering right now.
The score here is 21-10. Bengals driving. Offensive lineman Scott Brumfield, who's been on the field now for 25 minutes, is finally being helped onto an ambulance. You cannot say enough about the medical care and the expertise of the people who attend to injured players in this league. They're absolutely the elite of the medical profession. And as you fully know, Beasley, from your playing days, caution is the byword. They do everything slowly and very assuredly. They do it the right way.
Yeah.
Got a blanket over Scott Brumfield. So Scott Brumfield gets a hand as he goes off the field, and the play about to resume, but this certainly has a devastating effect on players on both sides to see one of their comrades go down with an injury as yet unspecified. But obviously it's serious enough that he's been helped from the field on a stretcher. The Bengals go back into their huddle now. 7 plays so far on this drive have covered 74 yards. Now the Raven fans kick in. To the end zone, the jump ball to Pickens, and a foul called against the Raven defense against Deron Jenkins, the rookie, and it'll be 1st and goal for Cincinnati. Ravens with their helmets off, and all these penalties are called against. Now what are they going to call? A touchdown? They're going to. Bengals are signaling a touchdown. Nobody caught the ball. This is going to be an interesting call.
Well, I think Pickens.
It's got to be a first down. It's not a touchdown.
Question, yeah.
Bengals are all jumping up and down.
Interference. Number 25 on the defense. The interference occurred in the end zone. Will place the ball on the 1-yard line, first down.
Well, here we go. Jenkins, number 25. Ball's in the air. He pushed that. We couldn't see, but the right hand was a push right in the chest of Carl Pickens right before the ball got to him.
Number 61.
So now the ball, 1st and goal at the 1-yard line. The Bengals down 21-10. Baltimore fans. A factor here is a throw to Pickens, and he can't get to it. And you got a yard to go. You think the way Hurst has been running, they might try the middle, but I guess the Ravens gap defense changed the call to a loop throw to Carl Pickens.
Pickens gave himself plenty of room to the outside. I'm telling you, I would know from long before the play was started. I mean, that's an obvious lineup to give yourself room to catch the lob into the corner.
Another Cincinnati player is down. Jeff Cothran is down. As moments ago, after a 25-minute delay because of the caution exercise and putting him on a stretcher and moving from the field, Scott Brumfield left the field, but it looks like Jeff's all right as he's getting up. Big fullback, primarily a blocker for the Bengals. And when play resumes here, it'll be 2nd down and goal for Cincinnati. The ball at the 1-yard line of Baltimore. So the Bengals go into their huddle now. The Ravens in a gap defense. Goal line defense. Power set, I set, one receiver, that's Pickens, double tight ends. Pitch to Kajana Carter. He's down close, but the Ravens stop him. It's 3rd and goal. Last 3 times they've gone to that play for Kajana Carter. He's been in the end zone twice last week against Jacksonville and once today.
But Don, when they started it, I said there's no way in the world they're running that same. But I mean, at some point you got to do something else off of that movement. I mean, you saw how quickly the defense recognized it as the same old pitch play and attacked it, defeating the play. You know, a halfback pass off of that, or fake that pitch and bootleg for the quarterback. That was not a good play.
Blake takes a look. He throws. Wide open Pickens, and Blake missed him completely. An errant throw by Blake as Pickens was wide open, and the Ravens defense hold. Are they going to go for it on 4th down? It appears they might when the NFL on NBC continues.
In the next 2 weeks, events will happen that will change the life of one of your friends. Don't miss Friends, NBC Thursday.
Education is important to our community, but how much are you willing to pay? The Columbus City Schools are proposing a $5.5 mil tax levy. What will they do with the money? And more importantly, what will they do without it? Find out tonight on News Channel 4 at 11.
Throughout life, you're faced with a lot of important choices, and finding the right car is no exception. Luckily, the Cavalier from Chevrolet is there to make it easier, with choices that offer affordability for the value conscious, space for those who prefer to travel in a group, performance for those who demand it, and freedom for those who need a little breathing room. The Chevy Cavalier. So many choices, so much car.
When it comes to roping a steer, folks in Grand Junction, Colorado will tell you that Ron Markin can ride with the best of them. And when it comes to overhauling an engine or rebuilding a carburetor, well, he can do it all. You see, when Ron's not riding a horse for fun, he's turning a wrench for a living. So he buys a lot of parts, mostly from AutoZone. Sure, there are other parts stores in town, but Ron knows that when you want the right part for the right price, there's just no place better than AutoZone.
When you want election results first, watch News Channel 4's expanded coverage of the '96 election for up-to-the-minute results, behind-the-scenes reports, and local issues that matter to you. Find out what Ohio decides. Tuesday beginning at 8 on NBC4. You're watching News Channel 4 Columbus.
This telecast is presented by the authority of the National Football League and is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the NFL is prohibited.
We move into the 4th quarter, and big games turn on plays like the one that's coming up. 4th down and goal for Cincinnati, trailing the Ravens 21-10. 4th and goal from the 2-yard line. Will he roll out and throw? Jeff Blake lobs it. Man tackle in the end zone. 1st down, Cincinnati. Foul call and middle linebacker Ray Lewis, and the Bengals get 4 new downs from the 1-yard line of Cincinnati, and twice in that series, as you know well, usually they had Carl Pickens wide open, couldn't get him the ball.
Well, Don, it didn't help them last time when they got 4.
Pass interference.
So maybe it'll take 8. Watch Ray Lewis. See, things get desperate down here. He's hanging. Oh, goodness. He's got his foot. He's got his shirt. You get desperate down in there, man.
Well, he probably did the right thing. If he'd let Lewis look like the enemy had him beaten, and would have been wide open in the middle of the end zone. And now the pressure's off Cincinnati, at least on a down situation, although they still have to get it in to get back in the game. Blake. Every time they run that play, your quarterback is open for injury. Rick Lyle takes him down. Blake's all right, but there's lost yardage on the play.
But, Don, they saw this play. They saw this option play last week. They saw the sweeps to Kajana Carter last week. This is the same play. Blake was injured on it when Lagerman for Jacksonville hit him on the play. So they practiced this play during the week. At some point, you have to line up and challenge this team straight up the middle.
Second down and goal from the 4. Blake, quarterback draw. He goes in standing up. So the Bengals get back in the game as Jeff Blake calls his own number, and a good call it was.
There's a great call. You and I were talking about it off camera. We thought they were going to run a quarterback draw a couple of plays ago. There's a super call. Okay, they could be considering going for 2 here.
That would bring them within 3 points if they get there. They're down 21-16. Might not be a bad play call again, that quarterback draw. But the Bengals would be down by 4 if they kicked an extra point, would still need a touchdown, but there's a lot of time left, and the Ravens are going to have the ball with a lot of offense in this day probably left for them. Here is Blake throwing. The ball is caught. There was a foul call on the Ravens, but Carl Pickens caught it anyway. So it's now a 21-18 game, as all of a sudden the Ravens find themselves in trouble. They had this game well in hand, up 21-3. Now 15 unanswered points by the Bengals, and it's a 21-18 game. That's the Bengals' first 2-point attempt this year, and it worked. Jeff Blake on the touchdown run as the NFL on NBC continues.
This new car is powered by Dodge's 3.5-liter V6, has a 4-wheel independent suspension and quick ratio steering, which make it a perfect choice at the Skip Barber Pro Series. Or, if you prefer, it's available in this 5-seater as well. The new Dodge Intrepid Sport. This changes everything. See your friendly Dodge dealer today and get up to $1,000 cash savings on Intrepid.
If you're ready to do business on the internet, and you're wondering where to start, then the fastest growing internet provider in America invites you to get on board. Now, no matter what size your business is, AT&T makes it easy to catch the wave.
You've been thinking about getting a digital satellite dish. And thinking some more. Well, think about this. The people at Radio Shack can answer your questions. Plus, now they've got great deals. Own an RCA brand DSS dish with programming for about $1 a day plus installation. Up to 200 channels of select movies and sports available on USSB and DirecTV. Think about it. Better yet, stop thinking about it. Radio Shack. You've got questions, we've got answers.
The NFL on NBC is brought to you by the new Dodge. It's about change. By Intel, the world's leading maker of microprocessors. And by AT&T, your true choice.
Back to Baltimore. Lee Johnson kicks off and kicks off hard. On the 1 half, the ball is picked up by Randy Baldwin, and he is taken down at the 24-yard line, as after a 12-play drive, 77 yards, Jeff Blake takes it the final 4.
See, they're in man-for-man coverage, so everyone's looking at their own guy. Lewis is looking around. He'll recognize the play, but there's no way he can get back over fast enough. All of the defenders are looking at their men, so no one sees the quarterback. Ray Lewis sees it at the last second, but too late.
Now a critical drive for Vinny Testaverde and the Ravens. Can they answer? Their lead threatened. They're up now by just 3 points after leading 21-3. The handoff, and Bam Morris turns it up. And Bam is out to the 34-yard line. A gain on the play of 11 yards and a first down.
You see, Bam is like Eric Bieniemy. Every time Bam has touched the ball today, it's been productive. I think it's Bam time. I'd go Bam, Bam, Bam until they stopped it.
Big back from Texas Tech. Testaverde, as this field now enshrouded in shadows, a cold day. Testaverde fires and finds an open man. That's Floyd Turner running in the open part of the field across midfield. He's down to the Bengals' 45-yard line. Another first down.
Like I said, I'd go Floyd Turner, Floyd Turner. Oh, what a good throw.
21-yard gain.
Yeah, these guys are just, they're so wide open. It's been an easy passing day for Vinny all day.
They move it out quickly. Knew the Ravens leading 21-18. Here's a throw, and it's in. Whoa. There you Corey Sawyer moving on the ball. It's a fortunate thing there was not more air under that. Time of possession interesting. In the first half, it was a dominance.
See, it's still Cincinnati dominating the first half, dominating in the second half, but you see the difference overwhelming for Cincinnati in the second half, and that's why they're back in the football game.
Now second down and 10. Here's Testaverde as they blitz him. He's intercepted. It's picked off by Big Daddy Wilkinson, who immediately fumbles the ball back to the Baltimore Ravens. Hey, if he had good hands, he'd be a tight end, right?
Big Daddy, you got to put your fingers over the point of the football. I'm sure they work on that all the time in their defensive line practices. Oh, this is unfortunate for Big Daddy. It's a zone blitz, so he drops out in coverage. Vinny never sees him coming. That's a classic zone blitz move. You blitz your linebackers, you drop one of your defensive linemen into the vacated spot. Hopefully the quarterback doesn't see it, which he didn't. Big Daddy steps in and makes the interception.
And yet another Cincinnati player is down and being attended to at midfield.
I bet Big Daddy, when he came in the league, he never thought he'd be dropping back and worried about covering short zones and getting in front of the hook slot zone. He did it perfectly.
And they've picked off Vinny Testaverde 3 times today. We have 12 minutes and 53 seconds left to play in the game. That would have given the Bengals, and it's good to see the injured party is up and all right. Bouncing up is Roger Jones, one of the defensive backs.
Somebody in Cincinnati, tell Big Daddy, when you pick off the ball, you put your fingers over the point. See, all those big guys dream about being a tight end or a running back.
Well, they all think they're going to score. That's the thing, and they take off not thinking anything about they're going to get stripped of the ball, which
that's right.
Always happens.
Always.
And that gives the Ravens a major break, offsetting Vinny Testaverde's 3rd INT of the day. And now the Ravens have it 1st and 10 at their 40. They lead the game by 3, 21-18. And Morris. And he's taken down after a gain of just 2 yards as Steve Tovar fought off the block and made a head-on hit on Big Bam Morris.
Well, that's the first time they've stopped Bam today.
A gain of 2, 2nd and 8.
You know, but seriously, back to Big Daddy. For the guys who are not used to carrying the ball, you make an interception, you should just get on the ground.
Testaverde takes a look. He has an open man, Floyd Turner, and he's got the ball down to the 39-yard line. A brilliant play by Turner as he took the full force of Bo Orlando's hit and comes down with it for a 14-yard gain and a first down.
Down with this ball in this position, you know you're going to get knocked out. Bo Orlando is one of the hardest hitting safeties in the league. Look how he squares up, settles down on both feet, and rejects Floyd.
And Bam Morris, not much there for Bam, as now Tovar is getting to him before he can get running room. And the game clock continues to tick. A lot of time, 11:50 left to play. Eddie Marchibroda's Baltimore Ravens in the lead, 21-18. They led at the half, 21-3.
Don, I don't think I've made the point enough today that Vinny is calling his own plays out of this formation.
He's got time again to count the house. Pump fakes all day long, and Eric Green is wide open. The absolutely futile pass rush attempt of the Bengals has given Testaverde more time than any quarterback needs to complete a ball. That was for 24 yards.
This will make you crazy. So Vinny looking left the whole time. He's got the big hand so he can stop his throw and just survey the field. And look who's all by himself. Eric Green's not in real good football shape, so he makes the hard cut and kind of falls down. But that's a great play by Vinny.
They're coming with a 4-man rush, and Testaverde again has an open man. This is Bam Morrison. He's thrown down on a good tackle by big James Francis, a 6'6", 250-pound outside linebacker.
Well, that's not the one Vinny wanted. Vinny wanted Michael Jackson on the post corner. And when the post corner was covered, he came down to the outlet, the safety valve, which was Van Morris in this case. That's the guy he wanted right there.
Now Vinny aligns his team without a huddle. Dropping to throw. Here comes a blitz, and they get Testaverde. He gets away from it, throws to the end zone, and it's dropped by Derek Alexander, who's been making big plays all day till now.
Well, Derek that time was worried about, he was wondering, where am I on the football field? You know, what do I have to do to keep my feet in bounds? And look at how strong Testaverde is.
Yeah, that's that weight room.
Oh, look at that. And then here, Derek is saying, you see, he starts to do the tippy-toe move. He really didn't know where he was. Should have caught it, though.
I don't think he knew who was coming up to blast him.
And that could be part of it.
And that brings up a very big third down on the play. Here comes the rush. Testaverde wide open. Eric Green. It's intercepted. For the fourth time today, Testaverde's been intercepted. And this is Ashley Ambrose running it back, his 6th interception of the season. And now Testaverde, who's been lionized here in Baltimore. Here's a Memorial Stadium full of boos, and they're at him.
Well, Vinny's heard a lot of boos in his career. He just hasn't heard any here.
Perfect for any game, Domino's has the perfect play. Choose from 3 delicious crusts. There's classic hand-tossed, crunchy thin crust, or go deep with thick ultimate deep dish. So make the call and have it all. Call now, and you can enjoy delicious Domino's pizza during the game. And why not add some of Domino's spicy buffalo wings or steaming hot breadsticks?
Everyone hopes their financial future will be smooth sailing. What you need is MetLife. We know the hazards and offer financial information and sound advice to help you rise above them. We'll help you make sense of it all. Get Met. It pays.
A 3.5-liter V6, 214 horses, 4-wheel independent touring suspension, an advanced electronic system, 16-inch wheels and tires, and the responsiveness of AutoStick. In case you're wondering just how well a Dodge Intrepid Sport handles, consider this your walkthrough. Dodge Intrepid. This changes everything. See your friendly Dodge dealer today and get up to $1,000 cash savings on Intrepid.
The NFL on NBC is brought to you by Domino's Pizza. Call now to enjoy a hot and delicious Domino's Pizza during the game. For Hot and Wow, call Domino's now.
Take a look at the play here now. Ashley Ambrose has this man for man. The tight end is open, but Ashley falls back, comes off of his guy to make the play. See Ashley come back, come off, interception.
And first down Bengals. They trail the Ravens by 3. Here's Blake dropping to throw. He takes a look, swings it out, gets a man. And it looks like Darnay Scott comes down with the ball for a short gain. The defense right with him and takes him down. As Ray Lewis, the middle linebacker, who's so quick, made the stop.
Well, this game is all about making plays. Big Daddy made a play. Unfortunately, not accustomed to running the ball. They took it back from him, and then they get another play, another interception in the end zone to get another opportunity.
Bengals down by 3, but they've outscored the Ravens 15-0 in the second half. And off, Garrison Hurst working his way ahead on a 2nd and 5. He is close to a first down, but short of it. He's out to the 32-yard line, where Tim Goad makes the stop.
You know, if you can go 3.5 a pop, this is a very simple game. You know, coaches love that 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2. You're in a situation where the defense can't predict exactly what you're going to do. That's why a good running game is so important. They just ran 2 plays. Didn't pick up much, 3.5 on each one, but look where they are now.
Play clock is down to 5. Blake calls his own number and gets the first down. He ran into the guy. It looked like he wanted a hand off to Hurst. A major collision in the backfield, but whatever's fair, and he gets ahead for a first down.
Now listen, I don't know what these guys is. One guy goes to one hole, the other one goes to the other. Look at this. Oops. And Blake with the presence. You know, it's a good thing he's a good athlete.
Yes, he is. He gets the first down on 3rd and 1, and the Bengals drive on, down by 3 in the 4th quarter. Jeff Blake with 6 carries for 35 yards and a touchdown. Garrison Hurst. He takes it out to the 40-yard line. Let's find out more about the Colts and the Chargers as we go back to Greg in New York.
All right, Don, thank you. In Indianapolis, San Diego's Sean Salisbury, his 2nd touchdown pass of the day. Tony Martin, 22 yards for the TD, his 10th touchdown catch of the year. That's tops in the NFL. 9:12 to play. The Chargers lead the Colts 26-12, Don.
Thank you, Greg. Here in Baltimore, it is a 21-18 game. Ravens on defense have the lead, but it's been a second half for the Bengals. They've done all the scoring in this half, and now they move ahead on 2nd and 4. On a carry by Garrison Hurst, a workmanlike day for the 5'11", 205-pound runner from Georgia. He's now up to 82 yards for the day on 21 carries.
See, that's hard work. He's the prototype. You know, like you said, 5'11", 205, 210. That's what the NFL is looking for. They're all looking for another Emmett. Thurman and Emmett have changed the size of running backs in this league.
Yeah, they've gone small and quick. Handoff, the enemy. 3rd and 2. He gets 4 and a first down for the Bengals as they have it out to their 47-yard line. Huge defensive tackle James Jones gets him down.
Eric Bieniemy grades 100. He's grading 100 in my book on my grade card right now.
He gets 100 in winning attitude, I'll tell you that.
Just a wonderful athlete. Every time he does his job.
1st and 10. And he stays on the field on this first down play because he's good out of the backfield catching the ball. This looks like a pass play. Blake. Ravens threatening blitz. Here they come. It is a pass play. Blake throws. He gets the enemy. A penalty marker is down. The line judge fired a penalty from the near sideline. And Bernie Pukar will now check out and see what the call is. Holding against the Bengals. Philadelphia's lead down to 3 over the Cowboys.
71 on the offense. That's a 10-yard penalty. Still first down.
It's a rookie mistake. Willie Anderson, number 71, called holding that time. Where's Willie? Here's Willie? Or here's Willie. No, the next guy. That was a tight end I circled the first. There's Willie. And little hole with the right hand underneath.
So it is 1st and 20 for the Bengals. Blake against the blitz, stands in, lobs it out beautifully, gets a tight end. Running with the ball is Marco Battaglia, and he is out to the 48-yard line. He got about 12 yards on the play, taken down by Mike Caldwell and Donnie Brady. We saw the Battaglia family down from New Jersey dining last night. I'd hate to be the guy to pick up that tab.
Boy, there were enough Battaglias to start a Battaglia. It was about 30 folks at the table, and I think the uncle got the check. It had to be about $2 grand because we ate at the same place and it was expensive. But it was good.
Little Italy in Baltimore, you can't beat it.
Oh, you can't beat it.
2nd and 8. Here's Blake throwing up the middle. Darnay Scott is down to the 40-yard line. So in 2 plays on a 1st and 20, they get all the yards they need and more. First 12 they get from Battaglia's catch. Now 11 on the Darnay Scott catch. And the Bengals drive on, still trailing by 3.
You know, this has been a funny game. The first half, we were surprised by the Baltimore defense. Now they're more true to form, allowing the Bengals to score 15 unanswered and to move up and down the field in a critical situation.
Ravens defense trying to get a stop. Here's Garrison Hurst. Not much there. Maybe a yard down to the 39-yard line. As the Bengals are now running the clock, time becomes very critical. They want to score, but they don't want to do it too fast because you don't want to give Testaverde, even though he's had an off day with 4 interceptions, enough time to move him down the field. Vinny waiting for another chance. 2 touchdown throws today, but he's been intercepted 4 times. It's 21-18. Baltimore leads, but the Bengals have owned the second half. They've outscored Baltimore 15-0 in the second half. Against a blitz, Blake throws. It's completed to Carl Pickens. On a 2nd and 9 play, he gets about 5 to the 34-yard line. And the clock continues to tick down to 3:35 and running.
Blake using high percentage passing, being very careful with the football, fully cognizant of the fact that 3 points will tie it, and if they can get in the end zone, what a comeback this would be.
As they did for the Colts yesteryear. The Baltimore fans up and cheering now, trying to give more trouble to the Bengals offense. On 3rd down, Blake looks, he throws, he's got a man. It's inside the 30 for a first down. David Dunn makes the catch, takes the hit, and gets ahead for a gain of 6 yards and a first down.
Eric Turner's killing people. As we look at Pelfrey getting ready for his big moment in time. Of course, he'd rather be kicking a PAT.
Yeah, that 2-point conversion was big.
That was huge.
Because if the Bengals should score a touchdown, it would mean the Ravens would have to score a touchdown. The Ravens would be down by 4, but right now the Ravens still had the lead by 3.
Inside handoff.
Garrison Hurst taking on Ravens and not winning, as he's hit first by Go, then by Donnie Brady, and you see the game clock winding down to 2:23 and ticking.
Coach Cousins is a little upset. Now, this is the last 2 plays for Garrison. He was forced to do so, but you can't dance in this league. You know, they need to be running plays that send him at an angle straight into some of the interior holds, the off-tackle plays where he ends up jumping and dancing around. He's too little to gain more yardage.
This will take it down to the 2-minute warning, so play is stopped. Bruce Cousins twirls his quarterback over, down by 3.
It has the most powerful gas and diesel engines of any full-size pickup. It has the most available payload and towing. It has the roomiest cab of all, and better resale value than Ford, Chevy, or GMC. It's the truck that wrote a whole new rule book, now available in a leather-bound edition. Dodge Ram. The rules have changed.
And now, from Paris, from Milan, from St. Louis.
Introducing a new look from Budweiser, born on dating. It's the day your Bud was born, because fresh beer tastes better.
Nice label.
Thanks.
This is the Pentium processor inside the PC that runs the CD-ROM that lets you plan a vacation by taking a virtual tour. And since it is a connected CD-ROM, it hooks to a related website through your PC's internet link. So you can go online to book a hotel, which makes you happy that you have a Pentium processor.
Tonight's NBC Superstar Sunday. Yeah! Mike Ditka's on an all-new Third Rock when aliens discover football.
You make it all the way down to the big poles, you get to dance.
Cool! Go, Badgers, go! Then look who's back in Boston. You think everybody knows your name? Aw, come on, that's Shelley Long on an all-new Boston Common. NBC Superstar Sunday tonight. Hey!
With Beasley Reese, this is Don Criqui back at Baltimore. We've got a good one going here. 2 minutes to play in the game. The Ravens holding to a 3-point lead, but the Bengals are driving. Cincinnati still with 2 timeouts left. With 15 unanswered points in the second half, the Bengals have gotten back in the game. This is the 13th play of this drive. And coverage, the corners are up and bump and run. Blake looks, he throws, and it's behind Cochran. It'll be 3rd down and 13 now. Another huge down as the wind is working into the face of this Cincinnati offense in the 4th quarter. That was Blake's first incomplete throw in this drive. He was 5 for 5 for 50.
And the weird play, you know, it was basically a 3-yard pattern that would have gotten them to 3rd and 10 even if it was completed. I mean, I would have rather seen them challenge downfield. If it's not there, throw it out of bounds, throw it away.
Blake looks, he throws, the ball was hit, incomplete, and 4th down comes up. From where the ball would be, it would be a 40, and Jeff Blake is hurt.
Oh, he's so, looks like he got poked in the eye.
So another Bengal. It's absolutely been a disastrous day from an injury standpoint. Bengal after Bengal has been down, and now their leader and quarterback Jeff Blake is down. Whether he was poked in the eye, we'll see as we look again. Somebody went to the head with a swing of the hand. Isaac Booth. And now the two teams are starting up. They're going after Booth. So there's a timeout while Jeff Blake is attended to, and 4th down comes up when we come back.
As a delivery company, our business revolves around addresses. Your address, the address you're shipping to, millions of addresses worldwide. You give us an address, we'll get it there. But today, we're giving you an address. Welcome to UPS on the Internet. From here, you can arrange pickups, check rates, even track packages, all from your own computer, anywhere in the world, whether you're at an address or not. UPS, moving at the speed of business.
Dodge Stratus and Dodge Ram have just received the prestigious J.D. Power & Associates Appeal Award. Stratus tied for most appealing entry midsize car, and Ram receiving the award for the 2nd year in a row as most appealing full-size pickup. The Appeal Award comes from the most knowledgeable automotive experts of all, consumers. Frankly, we're tickled. See the friendly Dodge dealer near you.
We've invested billions to help businesses grow and provided billions more to improve homes and finance educations. We developed special insurance to pay for nursing home care and low-cost life insurance for people over 50. Because at Transamerica, we sell life insurance, but our real business is improving your life. Transamerica, life insurance, leasing, commercial, and consumer loans.
Back at Baltimore, Doug Pelfrey is now on the field with the most difficult assignment. His team down by 3 points, 21-18 with 1:54 to play. This could be the last possession for the Bengals. 4th down arises. They need 13. Pelfrey setting up for a field goal try that'll be 49 yards in distance into a wind that's gusting up to 25 miles an hour. Pelfrey has never been in a tougher position, but he's been a gamer. He's won a lot of games for the Bengals since coming out of Kentucky. On the way, he puts a charge into it and drives it through into the wind. What a phenomenal play by Doug Pelfrey. As his quarterback was injured into a gusting wind, the flag was straight out. Pelfrey powers the ball 49 yards true. And the game is tied at 21.
That had to be the equivalent. I mean, what would you add to another 10 yards based on the wind? That had to be like a 59-yard kick.
Oh, and he puts it right through the middle.
No question.
And that would have been good from a lot farther.
Perfect snap, perfect hole, great kick. Look how he put it. You see it put all of his little body into that ball and bent it back. That's a super kick.
Jeff Blake, who took a poke in the eye. You can see the mouse already forming on his left eye. So a Kentuckian stands tall. Bruce Coslet watching the whole thing.
There's a unique reaction to a game-time field goal.
He wanted to be in show business. Now we're going to have Vinny go to work. Let us not forget that Stover, their field goal kicker, is one of the most accurate of all time, and he has the wind at his back. And also, the Ravens have 3 timeouts left.
Everything is so critical right now. The kick is critical. The coverage is very, very important. They've got to get down there and smother on the coverage.
Lee Johnson hits it hard into the wind, drives the kick down to the 10-yard line. Jermaine Lewis on the fly. He's out to the 28-yard line. And now the Ravens, after an 18-yard return, will work hard to get in position for maybe a long field goal try that could win it. 1:45 left to play. Testaverde, if he's throwing, there's concern because this has not been a good day for Vinny.
No, this is 4 interceptions for Vinny. I mean, he hasn't done anything like that in years.
Only 1 turnover for the Bengals, and it was meaningless. A desperation throw into the end zone at the end of the first half. Interception. Testaverde on first down, a timing throw. It's incomplete at the 40-yard line as he drilled it in hard. The last 3 Raven drives have ended in Testaverde interceptions.
Michael Jackson has dropped. I mean, that's one you got to slide under in this situation. He's dropped 3. I said 3 earlier, so I think he's dropped 4.
Here's Testaverde again. Again, a long time to throw. Fires hard and skips it in. And now Testaverde hears more boos. And he was looking at Jackson, but nobody could have caught that.
No.
The clock stopped with 1:37 left to play. The Baltimore Ravens still with their full complement of 3 timeouts, but they're in 4-down territory now. Bengals bring people up. They look like they're going to blitz. Here comes the rush. Testaverde looks. He fires. Again, he comes in on the 1-hop. Short of Michael Jackson. And now they're going to send out their punter with 1:32 left to play. And this is a tough call. And apparently they're going to try to get a defensive stop with 3 timeouts.
I think I'd do the exact same thing. I'd kick it down here and trust my defense to hold. I mean, at some point, they've got to regroup. The momentum, everything's moving against them.
Tie game. End-over-end kick downfield. And it caroms out of bounds. And now, with 1:25 left to play in the game and 1 timeout remaining for the Bengals, Cincinnati will try to get in winning field goal range.
Visa presents Behind the Numbers. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be. Why does -9 still give Cincinnati fans the chills? Stay tuned.
Take a stroll down memory lane at the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
You crushed my knee. Was your toes. You broke my ribs.
It was your nose.
Ah, yes. I remember it well. You sacked me once.
I sacked you twice.
In pouring rain.
No, it was nice.
Ah, yes.
But when you go, don't forget your Visa card, because the Hall takes the NFL's best, but not American Express.
See ya, Nitschke.
It's Butkus.
Ah, yes.
Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
When the Bengals and Chargers met in the 1981 AFC Championship, the mercury plummeted to -9 degrees, and the wind chill was a frosty 59 below zero. Despite the Arctic conditions, the Bengals put San Diego in the deep freeze to win their first ever Super Bowl berth.
We're all in search of answers. See us for the ones about cars.
Hey, you're a guy, and guys need protection made just for them, like Speed Stick. Our new pack is easier to handle and has a new comfort top. It's a better way to get that same great Speed Stick protection, just for the guys.
Alrighty then.
Alrighty then.
Alrighty then.
Alrighty then.
Alrighty then. Alrighty then. Alrighty then. Alrighty then. It's Ace Ventura.
The Big Detective.
On NBC. Alrighty then. The network premiere of Ace Ventura, NBC tonight.
Back to Baltimore. Here come the Bengals out of the huddle. They have outscored the Ravens 18-0 in the second half to tie the game. The phenomenal kick of Pelfrey, 49 yards into the wind to tie the game. And now, with 1:25 left, here's a swing pass caught by Eric Bieniemy, taken off down the sideline. He's out of bounds at the 42-yard line with a first down. So the Bengals save their remaining timeout. A 14-yard gain on the play. There's more to come. It's a doubleheader day on NBC. The Dolphins and the Patriots hook up at Foxborough. The Oilers play at Seattle, and Kansas City's at Minnesota. Check your local listings for the doubleheader game on NBC in your area, as right now it is 1st and 10 with 1:18 to play in the game. High game. Blake gets time. He fires long. He's got a man, and stepping out of bounds smartly is Darnay Scott as he has the ball down to the 41-yard line.
It's been two completely different football games. First half, all Ravens offensively. Second half, Cincinnati taking control. This is all the time in the world given Blake by the offensive line, so it's simple throw and catch. Scott's got time to run its pattern. Blake's got time to step and throw.
Blake stands in. He's got a problem. Off he goes, and Blake, he's not done till he gets to the 26-yard line. He got 15 yards and a first down.
This has been excellent. They've got to still watch their clock management. They've got one timeout due the Cincinnati Bengals, but so far with Bieniemy stepping out of bounds, they haven't needed it.
Pitch back. Near side, running hard with the ball. Checking the ball and down to the 24-yard line with 39 seconds left to play. Now a timeout is signaled, as running with the ball was Kajana Carter. And there is Doug Pelfrey, a man who has a career long of 54 yards. That won a game. Of course, earlier this season he missed one that would have beaten the Oilers in an overtime game.
Don, that last call was even weird. I mean,
yeah, that was.
Kajana Carter has not been carrying the ball all day. They almost pulled the football out of his arms on that play. I mean, I would have handed off to somebody who's been running the balls in a critical situation like this. But
the Cincinnati,
just a humble broadcaster.
The Cincinnati brain trust must have had a sinking spell. But it's not over. We could go to overtime. 38 seconds left to play. 21-21. The Ravens, on some brilliant passing by Vinny Testaverde in the first half, took apart Coslet's Bengals and led 21-3 at halftime. And we talked about how Jeff Blake, when they were down 21-3, if there's one person in this sold-out stadium that was quite sure the Bengals could come back and win it was Jeff Blake. He thinks that way.
No question. He's a pleasure to talk to. You know, you feel his confidence.
He's been inspired by his godfather, Tim Raines, in the Yankees World Series win. Here's a throw and a catch. And down to the 16-yard line as the clock continues to run. Down to 28 seconds to play. This game, 23 seconds to go. Baltimore has 3 timeouts, but they're letting the clock tick down.
Yeah, you would think Baltimore would call timeout here to see if
they're not going to risk themselves another play. They're just going to wind it right down and kick the field goal.
Not.
The ball is positioned at the 16-yard line. You add 17 onto that, it'll be a 33-yard field goal.
They're not making mistakes here.
Well, sometimes it's a smart thing to leave yourself time for, in case of a bad snap, another play where you can call the timeout.
Yeah.
So they use it, and that'll do it with 3 seconds left to go. Boy, I'll tell you, this game, what a dramatic turnabout. The Ravens just absolute masterful offense in the first half, and now it's on the shoulders of the Kentuckian Doug Pelfrey in his 4th season with the Bengals from the University of Kentucky out of Edgewood, Kentucky, and he's been a terrific acquisition. He was a guy that each of the last 2 Bengals seasons has ended with Pelfrey kicking a field goal of 50-plus yards to break a tie and win a game. Beat the Eagles in '94 on a 54-yarder. Beat the Vikings last season on a 51-yarder. This will be a 34-yarder. Again into the wind. Johnson's the holder. Ball's on the way. It is up, and it is right down the pipe, and the Cincinnati Bengals come back to win on the final play of the game. What a remarkable turnaround job Bruce Coslet and his staff have done with this team. It was demoralized, struggling at 1-6. And now the last 2 weeks, they've rallied from behind in the fourth quarter to win games. Last week, 21 fourth quarter points to beat Jacksonville, and now this today. An extraordinary comeback. 21 unanswered points in the second half.
The fans here were absolutely stunned. After the kick went through, they sat for about 3 more seconds, and then almost in unison, like the national anthem was about to be sung, they stood to leave.
Bruce Coslett, he didn't want to see it. He was watching.
He could judge by it.
He was holding on to Kajana Carter, and
he was going by Kajana Carter body language.
Brought him the good news. Now it gets even tougher for the Bengals. They go back home to play the Steelers, as Jeff Blake couldn't look either. So we got some happy Bengals and some stunned Ravens as Cincinnati rallies to win its second game, unbeaten under its new coach, Bruce Coslett. Now for Beasley Reese, this is Don Criqui. Glad you could be with us at Memorial Stadium. Cincinnati beating Baltimore 24-21. A doubleheader day on NBC. Stay tuned.